guys, so I thought I wanted to do a video of my garden and share it with you. This is the second week in June. I initially wanted to do one beginning of June. I did one last one, but then it was a hot mess. So
Show them.
okay, I'll show them. So I thought I will do, come next to me, a garden update, mainly so I can see my progress. Jordan, say hi.
Hi.
And what's the name of that turtle?
So I have a rather pond slider.
Okay.
Mom, look at the slider.
So I'm going to share with you my garden as quickly as I can, and I'm going to try not to be too detailed, and as time goes on I can go into a little more detail, but the garden space is a little bigger this year, a little more organized, have a little more pots spread out, but overall after the hailstorm we got a lot of damage and I was a little depressed and down, but it bounced back a bit. So yeah, let's dive in. Hopefully I'm not too out of breath because I just finished eating. So let's start with one end of the garden. We have a lot of mosquitoes, so I hopefully I'm not sweating too much. This is the pond that you guys would have seen from last year. It's still there. I do have a mama bird who thinks it's funny that she swats. She comes at me. Oregano. This is basically an herb, sort of herb garden. I have my onions, lettuce seeds that fell there and grew, chives, that one has a flower, parsley, oregano, mint, which I pull out a bunch, parsley, oh that's celery, sorry, thyme. The strawberries are taken over, and can you look at this gorgeous gladiolus that we have here? I've tried growing this for a couple years and then it was placed here and it seems to be growing super duper. Again, look how cute. Yeah. Strawberry patch. We did get some strawberries, but the birds help themselves. There's a bunch of noodle beans and Malabar spinach in here. Initially, I lost almost all our in here. Planted more seeds and then some more came up. That's some zinnias that I'm growing there to fix up a friend flower garden. That's Cosmos. Those packets I picked up at Dollar Tree. Seeing them growing slowly, I think insects ate them out. Those purple stuff are Japanese basil or perilla, shiso, lemon basil, persimmon tree we put in this year. That is Chunky Monkey, one of our guinea pigs, and I don't know why he is out. Chunky Monkey, why are you out? And this is our berry patch that has become a fruit forest. I need to go try to get that little chunky monk. That's my fig tree that he just went under and hit. So this here is an elderberry. This was really battered up. I have some sunflowers growing here. That's a marigold, I think. And at the back here that's raspberry, the lightly colored stuff, the tall branch that's growing out there, that's blackberry, some sunflowers, and a little Shasta daisy there, and Chunky Monkey somewhere at the back here. We have a pumpkin that is growing at the side here of this stuff here. There's some basil there and watermelon on the ground. Yeah, can you see the blackberry bush at the back there too with blackberries? Those red stuff are blackberries. This rose bush needs to come out. We will take it out soon. These are ground cherries, babies, little seedlings that we got. This was my compost, and that's my ginormously tall sunflower. Yeah, that's what I got. Next one in here, and this is expanding the garden. So planting some late potato. My dad actually motivated me because he spoke about how he was growing potatoes at home, and I always wanted to grow potatoes. And this is actually a potato grow bag. As you can see, you have that little side stuff you can check out. Push your hand and see if you have any potatoes. Here I have actually a squash. I picked it. I'll have to insert a picture of that squash for you guys. In the same pot has pole beans and also a tomato. Initially the first tomato that was in here died with a hailstorm. I have a basil and a marigold. This squash more or less will go and then die soon. I have in this pot a nice tomato here with a beans and melon, and the beans actually stressed up there. Recently put this pot here, and this is a blueberry tomato with basil and 1 peas. I like to put beans with my tomatoes or peppers because they help fix nitrogen in the soil. This is a basil, this is holy basil, very pungent smell, with a marigold and a pepper plant. The peas were in here, and there is 1 beans. The peas looks horrible, I have to take it out, but I'm letting them dry so I can get seeds for next season. Here we have bikini pepper. This is a chili pepper here with 2 cucumber plants. We actually picked a cucumber, and I'll insert a picture here. And we have some smaller cucumbers growing. This is a pepper I bought called hot joker and Thai basil. Tomatoes here, this is a cherry tomato, and it's a yellow, oh nice dragonfly. We picked about 4 cherry tomatoes, and you can see it has quite a lot of babies, so exciting. And oh, look, one is right in here. We did lose quite a bit of cherry tomatoes in the hailstorm, and now everything is coming back. I have a Malabar spinach growing there, a peace plant that's suffering, a basil, and a marigold. I think eventually I will take out that basil and put it in a pot. I will leave the marigold and maybe take out the Malabar spinach, basil again with pepper. That basil, I might take it out and put it in our pot. It's growing so well. So here we have marigold, tomato, and beans, and the beans already are flowering, which is so exciting, as you can see. And I have some bigger tomatoes here. This is summer sandwich. I did not grow this from seed. I bought this from a local plant store. This here is a tiny Tim tomato with spicy clove basil, and there's a little daisy plant at the back that I was struggling. This whole pot initially had lettuce, gradually feeding it out to the guinea pigs, and I will actually maybe pick it out today, if not tomorrow, and I will put compost on top of it and then plant more than likely a tomato in there. This had a bunch of marigolds. When I say a bunch, this is the pot that supplied every pot and area that you see with marigolds, and I have gifted over 50 marigolds to friends. These here are actually called asters. I don't remember planting the seeds here. I think I did plant it some time back. They never caught on, and then suddenly, wow, we have asters. That is another spicy blue basil there. Another tomato here. That pot that I bought the tomato plant from had like 3 or 4, I think they had 4 tomatoes in it. One did die in the hailstorm, hence why I told you that other pot I had to replant. But these are pretty good size. They're medium tomatoes, and this is a squash plant at the back there, and there is a marigold in there. Did I plant? No, I don't think any beans are in here, but there is a Malabar spinach down there. Then we have a cherry tomato here, and another squash, and a marigold. I do think I wanted to plant some beans in there. This pot here is empty. Then we have this one here, which is the same as the plant over there, tomato wise, but these beans are now coming back. They got really butchered up in the hailstorm, and a squash is struggling here with a marigold. A little hanging basket. This pepper was actually battered down to the very bottom there, and it came back up. Sweet basil and Malabar spinach in here. I don't have any marigolds in there. I need to put one. So I recently planted this tomato. This is a blueberry again tomato. It has a Malabar spinach. I think this is a cucumber, is it? Yes, it's a cucumber. And the beans that were in here has come down to the end of season. Thing they did give us a bunch of beans. I will be pulling out that, but they help fix the nitrogen already in this pot for me. This pot is struggling. I really need to figure out what's going on. I think it got battered up in the hail, and it just never caught back. These are daisies. This also was a pepper plant. I got battered up and as you can see it's struggling. This is a tomato cucumber. I think I will just pull out that pepper. Another tomato plant here with some other, there's a squash growing down in all the bush going at the back there. I find this tomato looking a little sad and droopy. What happened though, I think is Jordan keeps moving these pots, and when he moves them they get a little out of whack. So there's a rosemary growing here, they have some green onions, and yeah, and a squash. Up here I have some hanging baskets. What is a golf ball doing here? Boys. So this is the first bed, and we have marigold. I initially had a sunflower and that got battered up. In the back here actually we have some beets and Swiss chard, celery, basil, lettuce that's bolted, pepper, that's Tabasco. Then I have tomatoes. Those two ended up growing up too close. I'll have to make sure and I'll have to make sure and keep them single stemmed. Don't know what is that. That looks like a cucumber or a squash. And let's go through there. I did plant some beans here along this piece here. Hopefully it will pick up soon. I just recently planted them like a couple days ago. Another tomato will come here. That tomato got really battered up in this storm and just has a couple. I find it looks like it's struggling, so I don't know if I'll keep it there if it's gonna struggle, because there's another one close by there. All these, like my kale, bolted, so I actually planted some baby kale, and as you can see these kales are trying, but we have an infestation of
It is not bad.
I don't know, I don't think so, of spider mites, and we have lots of roly-polies and slugs. I planted these beans a while back. Most of the others got battered and died with a hailstorm, but we have some green beans here, so I'm going to keep them a couple days. These green beans I planted recently. Those are quinoa beans, and these are all bush beans. That's parsley. I plan to pull out most of these lettuce. I'm just waiting for some of them to seed. Then we have some more pots here. This is a sweet banana. There's a mint. There's two basils in there actually. Then this is my Trinidad pimento. You can see it's full of flowers. We do have a couple baby. If you look closely, you'll see a couple babies, but we're having like really lots of rain, and then we have lots of then the temperature dropped sometime recently, and so that has been going through a lot of shock. That's empty. Then this pepper got a lot of beaten up again from the hailstorm. This is the other side of the bed. We have marigold, basil at the bottom there, thyme. And some of these I'm actually going to be pulling out soon. I have a cucumber at the back there, nasturtium, squash that's struggling, and that's what I'm actually using to gauge how healthy this part of the bed is. I am going to top it with compost. Cilantro was growing here, they bolted. Another tomato there. This was the first set of beans that I planted. I reaped already, so I'm going to pull those out soon. And there's a tomato struggling. This tomato actually was growing so well. This again is from seed, and I don't know why it's behaving like this. It's looking all droopy, and I'm worried if somebody did fertilizer or something, because the leaves are starting to look really weird. Those two pots I have to plant in them. I've been actually emptying soil out of that one, which I shouldn't. And this sunflower is actually taller. Oh, it's as tall as I am, so that's a 5'3". This is the second bed, and those pots got beaten up, as you can see, with heel. This one was struggling with pepper, and yeah, I'll get to that, but still have them. I have a volunteer, somebody growing in here, and I can't figure out if it's a squash or pumpkin, but I've been using the leaves to cook and make spinach. In between these mess here, I do have a basil, which I pick from regularly. I have some beans here, and I have an okra that got beaten down to the very nib and grew back. And then we have another tiny Tim here. This is potato, which I'll have to pull out. Swiss chard that grew really well. Oh, hi Bugsy. Say hi.
Hi.
Oh, so cute. So these peas I plan to just have them growing under a lot of the tomatoes, this leaf eventually will have to cut it. I'm waiting for this thing to flower so I can get seed. That's a lettuce tower. Now the tomato here, these of course I grew from seeds. All these are from seeds actually, but just at different timing. Swiss chard, nasturtium. This here with the pretty flowers, scarlet, runner beans, and then this tomato that's on the other side. Really, I thought was not gonna make it, and then suddenly it did. I do not know what this is, but it smells like it's a type of basil, but I don't know. And I did throw some basil seeds here some time back, and I can't remember. That's again perilla, purple shiso, sorry, sunflower here. This is one of my shishito or wrinkled old man peppers, really cute. A nice growing basil here. Another one of my Trinidad pimentos, my Trinidad seasoned pepper. Oh my goodness, I love this pepper. But yeah, it went through like the other part here. That totally got busted. We really were not able to bring it back in. I think this is another shishito. Yep. Pepper. And I picked up these two actually at Walmart, I think it was. Or one pot had 3 in it. No, 2 in it, and then one had 1. And so I ended up with 3 plants. I was gifted one, but that one is actually struggling somewhere. And this is my blueberry tomato. Can you see how the leaves look? It's so unique. It is really unique. A nice basil growing here. I have dill. This is I don't know which one is kale. This is scarlet kale. This is actually a beet that grew and we used it to harvest it for leaves. Dinosaur kale had bolted, and there's a fly up there. So I started pulling out some of the lettuce here, and here's why you're seeing those little nibs there. And this is that one tomato that I showed you that I planted from seed. Actually no, this was a volunteer tomato, I think, that I left. I thought it died and then it caught back itself. But yeah, I don't even know what tomato it is. So this one is unlabeled. Then I actually have some mustard greens growing there. This is a cherry tomato grown from seed, but I do not know what it is, what type of cherry tomato. And I'm thinking it's Gardener's Delight because I had a lot of seeds for those, and I think I planted those early. Kale again, hopefully to take over from that set. Thyme, that's lemon thyme actually. This is the volunteer squash that has grown, and I'm waiting to see if any of the flowers will have like a fruit at the end so that I can know. These are tender bean, greens, bush beans, and I planted them. When did I plant these? I didn't put a date. Oh goodness, maybe about a couple weeks ago. So they are actually now, they will just get to 2 feet or so. And they're gonna be here for a little bit. And empty pot. That pot needed draining. Can you see it's a hot mess? I need to drain that. And this is my other pimento. So I'm putting this one in shade to see if it's gonna make a difference in terms of fruiting and stuff like that. So far it doesn't have as much flowers as the others, so I may put this out. Potato growing there. I recently started cleaning out this bed before the rain, and can you see how it's looking crazy already? I did it before the storm, and a whole bunch of stuff started coming up again. Like these tomatoes that you see are all stuff I planted from seeds and with different varieties. And dinosaur kale over there, and then some, I think was that ragged jack, mint that I have to pull out, and then we have dill that I don't know how dill ended up in here. Dill, and the train is in the background if you hear it. And this is my little corner. My sunflowers are starting to come out. This was one of my first sunflowers, so it's dying back. And where is that bird that usually likes to harass me? These are daisies that I actually put in here, transplanted from another pot, and initially it wasn't growing. Neither was this lemon thyme, but it is now. And so we have some more sunflowers coming up here. Kale, dill. I see some okra shooting up. Like, look at that baby okra. Can you see that baby okra? There it is. Yeah, that baby okra. that got beaten down to the nothing, and now it's growing back up. So I need to come through and weed out here because it's a hot mess. I did get a couple squashes from here. This is actually this whole area is experiment because nothing really grows here, and I'm trying to figure out what I can grow. So far I think the sunflowers are good, so maybe next year this will be an entire sunflower and flower patch because that marigold seems to be growing well. The beans are struggling, similar with the squash, and this one here is actually composted soil. And here we have a tomato plant that was gifted to me by a friend. There it is. I'm looking up at the bird because she is up there and she likes to come and bother me, especially when I'm here. And this is a ground cherry, and I do have a baby ground cherry growing there. And we have cucamelons growing here, and I'm not 100% sure what other vine is growing here. And you can see over there I have like a squash and a beans that's growing up, and I think more cucamelons. Here I have my what we call in Trinidad dashing bush patch. That's my dashing, or edos, or what, taro. So here we have my shishito pepper. This was where the other one was last year, and you can see how many we have here. This pot was amended with compost, and you can see based on what's happening. I did throw some mustard seeds in here, and yes, we did have mustards, and I've been feeding the guinea pigs. I have a little nursery section here with some strawberries and seedlings and stuff. I think this is the other shishito pepper that is struggling that my friend gifted me. But yes, something has been munching on all these basil leaves. Can you see? Like seriously, oh, that's a weed. And this tall sunflower, which is taller than me already. This section is a wicked. We have soil and compost.
Show them this thing, Mom.
Okay, I'll show them. This is my moringa. And this is little Jordan, and his, what is that?
Catfish.
And your catfish, right?
Oh, no, I want to go through here.
Okay. Guinea pigs and your mama. Mint, I pulled out a ton, and yes, this keeps growing. This area is again somewhere I have to figure out what to put here. Jordan usually puts his fishes inside there. That's a tomato plant that volunteered, and I had to actually, it got broken and I had to put it up with soil. This is another volunteer tomatoes that's there. I did plant this sunflower and it's struggling. It got beaten down. It would have been taller, but it's coming from all the way at the back there, and it has like a slope. The zinnia is going to grow well here, and so is over here. We have the plum tree. We got this recently. Some cucamelons. Planted some mint to actually grow here and see how they're going to grow in the grass. That is ground cherry. More mint and cucamelons in this corner here, and this is my little flower area too. I have a lemon balm there. That's a zinnia. Basil, chrysanthemums from my 2 years with weeds growing through it. This here is my peach tree, another gladiolus. Look how pretty this is. Yeah. And then we have another sunflower struggling here, but still growing. Zinnia at the back there. Gladiolus, something is bulbing coming up there. I don't know what it's going to be. This is my other peach tree, and we have some more chrysanthemums. Chrysanthemum there with a cosmo, and chrysanthemum over on the side, and that's lemon balm. And I think that side, that looks like an avocado tree there. Interesting. So this is my new area that I have to fix up. Initially it had just that mint, and then I decided here I wanted something beautiful because my kitchen overlooks this area. So there is some zinnias, begonias. There is a ground cherry there. There's basils around. This plant has taken over this area. Basil there, cosmo, and just like some moss rose, some other stuff here. But I have to put compost and amend in here because really and truly it is struggling. All right, so front door. We have some of those daisies, and then this zinnia with, I'm not even sure what that is. That's it. And then we have some of these stuff. Then just marigold, different varieties of marigolds. And Jordan, can you not do that, bud? And marigolds, my little patch. This is a hibiscus I got from a friend. And so some of my stuff here is growing. Sunflowers are out. So beautiful. And then we have these zinnias. Is that a stick insect? What insect is that right there?
You say?
There's an insect right there.
Where? Oh, that's a grasshopper.
Okay.
Can I catch it?
I don't know. But there was a grasshopper below that.
You
Just
see
wanted to share this with you. This is my first calendula. I've always wanted to grow calendula. And I struggled and these are now opening. And this got beaten up really bad. You can see some of the other leaves got really beaten up. But this is my first calendula. I see I have a bunch of buds and I hope I can, grow more.